What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the Table Talk with Toddy podcast. I know y'all are surprised to hear from me because we are almost in the middle of a week and y'all already know episodes don't drop until Sundays. But I wanted to hop on and do a very quick bonus episode, very timely, very much needed. So this is going to be quick. I just wanted to share with you a few things surrounding the recent outbreak of COVID-19, also known as the coronavirus. Just from seeing on social media and everything, I know everyone is a little bit panicked, a little bit freaked out. And as I've had time to really reflect and think about what is really going on and become more informed and more in tune with what is really happening, I wanted to share some keys that I have implemented that I can already see is going to set me up for success following this turmoil that's actually happening right now. So I said, you know what? I'm going to kind of break the tradition a little bit and go ahead and share with you guys 8 keys to surviving what is going on. So first things first, make sure you are subscribed to the podcast. Having a game plan and thinking outside of the box is going to be critical, you guys, for our survival. There's a lot of talks of how small business owners, entrepreneurs are really suffering right now as far as bringing in income because people are, panicking about not having a job to go to, not having work, not getting a paycheck. And society seems to be a little more compassionate is more than I've expected, actually, as far as, paying people who aren't able to go to work. I know Tyler's out of school for a couple of weeks. Teachers still getting paid for the most part. So I do think it all goes back to having a game plan and thinking outside of the box. Now, sorry, you guys, if I sound a little stuffy. My allergies have been bothering me quite a bit. So I am trying not to take too much medicine, but if I sound a little stuffy and congested, that is why. So let's jump in because this is a bonus episode and I don't want it to be too long, but I did think it was very important that I come on and share with you these 8 keys that I have been implementing. The first thing is don't panic. Don't panic, you guys. I know it's easier said than done. There is a difference between being concerned and being panicked. And I think a lot of us started off as panic. And as we've had time to think, hopefully we're able to think a little more logically and prepare over panic. So don't panic. A lot of our fears are being fed by the media. A lot of our fears are being fed by the president. A lot of our fears are being fed by news outlets, social media. I mean, everywhere you go, there is talk about what is going on. So I want you guys to be educated and aware, but please don't lose your cool. And a lot of the tips that I'm going to share with you today is going to help you to keep that monitored. Now, as someone who isn't a fan of watching any news, I mean, from my local news to CNN, I'm just not a fan of the news. I feel like it kind of puts me in a dark place. It makes me a little sad. It seems like every time I turn it on is negativity. And so with what's going on with COVID-19, obviously that's all you're going to hear about for the next upcoming months. Now, I do understand how important it is to be informed. However, an excessive amount of media consumption right now, you guys, will overwhelm you and can cloud your judgment and ability to make wise decisions. I mean, we saw everyone running out buying toilet paper, food, all of these things. But I'm going to be the first to tell you right now, our mental health is so much more important than buying an excessive amount of goods, an excessive amount of all of the things that you've already, because we did it too. Our mental health is more important than any of this because that's what we're going to need to have intact to make it through this. You follow me? So we got to protect it at all costs and do whatever it takes, you guys, to find a place of peace through all of this. And your peace may look different from my peace. Your peace may be hanging out with a friend. Your peace may be logging off of social media during certain periods of the day. I know I've been having to do that. I've been posting less because I don't care if you try to avoid it. As soon as you get on Facebook, you're going to see something about it, whether it be a meme, a joke, a news article, death tolls rising, more cases being announced. It's inevitable. You're going to see something somewhere on social media. So social media is just one way to protect your mental health. Logging off sometimes and putting your attention elsewhere could definitely be beneficial for your mental. So at the end of the day, you guys, rather this epidemic lasts for another 2 weeks or rather it lasts until July, August, as they're saying, our mental health right now is the most important thing, and we have got to protect it at all costs. The second key to surviving the coronavirus is to quarantine with your local biz or creative besties and create some cross promo content, right? So a lot of us are talking about quarantining together and who's going to be your quarantine bae. Well, I suggest you quarantine with someone who is like-minded, someone who is going to provoke you to push the needle, even though we are in a very uncomfortable time. Get with your team and see where do they need help. How can you offer them value, and how can you guys cross-promote and offer services and product that will help to position you in a better place so that when all of this is over, we are better aligned than we were before it all started. So circulate services and products amongst your network. Lend a hand to your fellow colleagues who may be able to benefit from what you offer right now. So a great example of this is if you're a virtual assistant, this may be the perfect time to help out a fellow business owner who is trying to contact customers by the bulk to update on delayed orders or delay in product shipments, delay in communication due to the virus, due to employees working from home. There's a lot of that going on. I've gotten so far today like 6 or 7 emails from, major corporations, of course, just notifying the customers that, hey, there may be a delay on shipping. We've got employees working from home. Rest assured, they're going to get paid, but there may be a delay in communication. So please allow us this amount of time, so on and so forth. So you may need, if you are a product-based business and you realize that you've got a huge amount of orders that may be delayed in shipping, maybe if you have a friend that's a virtual assistant, reach out to them and see if you can offer them something in exchange for them helping you to contact these customers and to get these email notifications sent out. So that's just one example of how to use this quarantining, I don't know if that's a word, stage to better set yourself up, not only to communicate with your customers and your audience, but to better position you so you could be 5 or 10 steps ahead when all of this dies down. So you guys remember, community is key during this time. This is now the time where you see, did you really build an audience? Is your audience really solid? Do they have your back? Do you have their back? And this is also a great time to refer your business owner friends to others. I cannot stress this enough. Don't cancel your services. Postpone. Speak to your photographer. Speak to whoever and see if there's any way that you all can reschedule or be open to a reschedule. Or I know Createcation Charleston is coming up this weekend, and I've talked to all of the individuals who've booked on out for throughout April, and everybody's on the same page. It's just really at the end of the day, these people have been following me. They've been connected to me. So they already know that I have their best interest and that I'm not going to try to just run off with their money because we're going through a crisis. So, we've already talked about rescheduling. We've talked about possibly doing things virtually. So this is where you really find out how solid your community is and have you really built that know, love, and trust with them. The third key to surviving the coronavirus is to leverage the motivational aspect of your brand. People really, really, really need it right now. I know there are a lot of people that say motivation doesn't sell, but it actually does stick with people, right? It may not sell right now, but it's going to stick with people. If you have a podcast, a blog, or a YouTube channel, go back and pull out those pieces of content that will give your audience hope and information that will get them through this shutdown season. I know I need it. I know my intake on motivational podcasts and music has been probably at an all-time high just because, again, my mental health is so very important. If you're a therapist, understand that you are in high demand right now. So although people may not have the money allocated to hire a therapist right now, that may not be a priority. But use this time to really build strong connection and community, because when you inform and uplift people, you're going to be the one that comes first in mind when all of this dies down and people are really looking to put their lives back together again. I know it's easy to panic about not making money during COVID-19, but by focusing on providing a better peace of mind, that's the selling point here. Providing a better peace of mind to your audience over getting paid is so much more important now than ever. They will remember you for how you helped them to get through this over how you made them feel bad by not purchasing your product and service. And again, as a business owner, I get it. We've still got to make money. But the reality here is, you guys, people, they're not looking for, the next big product, the next best product. You could have the best one here, but they want to know, how can you help me feel better about where I am now? So be a resource and a sigh of relief for your community. And let's focus on community over coin right now in that aspect. Because I do believe when you make people feel reassured, when you show people that you care about their well-being other than what they can give you, then that'll leave a more lasting impression than anything else. Now, I'm not saying, because I feel like I need to say this, I'm not saying don't push your products and services, because absolutely this is the time to do it. But I do think it needs to be done from a place of compassion and not forcefulness. I digress. The fourth key to surviving the coronavirus is to be open to more virtual opportunities. A lot of events have been having to be canceled. Possibly offering a virtual conference instead of an in-person conference. Obviously, it may not have the same impact. You may not be able to do all of the same things, but offer some type of virtual opportunity. There are so many options to do this. And for business owners, if you don't have the digital aspect of your business set up, if you can't do ebooks, or if you don't have ebooks, if you don't have like a digital aspect of what you sell tangibly, now is the time to really consider that, because that's going to benefit you. That's really going to be the avenue where most people are going to make their money during this time. So, for example, if your kids are, out of school, which most are, if I'm not mistaken, during the outbreak, offer some type of online tutoring to keep kids on top of their schoolwork. I've seen a lot of teachers offer assistance. Parents would be happy for that little break, even though the kids aren't going to be out of the house. If they could hop on Skype and tutor with you for 30 to 45 minutes, that's 30 to 45 minutes that the parent can walk away and exhale and breathe. Because I know, gosh, today already, Tyler and I have already gotten into it a little bit. So, certain things like that is definitely going to be beneficial. I know ABC Mouse and Adventure Academy, they're offering huge discounts because that's how they're going to keep their business moving. Another example before we move on, smaller churches I'm seeing are missing out on opportunity to reach people because they don't have virtual service. They don't have the capabilities, the technology, if you will, to talk to their members when they can't physically be in the congregation. I know Seacoast has sent out Kids Coast emails with digital downloadable coloring sheets and visual lessons for the kids. Being prepared for times like this is why having the digital aspect of your brand set up and in full gear. And now it's not too late. You can still use this time to do that. The fifth key to surviving coronavirus is to use this time to batch create content. Now, I know you've seen that one floating around all over the internet, and I could not agree more. I have been going hard, even though I've been doing this already all year, which is how I've been able to stay on top of the podcast and all of my content. Now is definitely the time, especially if you work a 9-to-5 and your number one complaint is always, I just never have time outside of work. Well, now you have all the time in the world. So go back and pull out those old notebooks, those old notes in your phone, and start creating that content. Don't worry about the content being perfect. Just get it out there. By the way, I'm giving an exclusive free download to all of my amazing listeners out there. So if you're listening to me right now, I want to give you my most popular content creation course called Content Chaos. I want to give it to you for free. So all you have to do to get this is hop over to bit.ly/COVID-19 content to get access. And I'll make sure and put the link down in the description. And shh, Don't tell anybody because I hadn't even announced this on social media and I won't. This is just for you listening to this episode. So again, the link is bit.ly/COVID-19 content to get access. Once you click over there, fill out the form, you'll get the code and everything you need to get access to it. Right now, that is going to be valid until April 1st, 2020. For right now, I don't know. Maybe I'll extend it. Maybe I won't. We'll see. But that's just my way of kind of giving you that extra push to really create some new, fresh content for your audience. Yeah, so that's just my gift to you guys. I know we're all struggling right now. I know we're all trying to keep it moving, and that's just a way for me to kind of just give you the push, right? So no excuses. Number 6, leverage this quality time with your audience. We actually have time to pay attention, and anything other than coronavirus news will stand out at this point. I mean, I've been getting so happy when I pull out my phone and I get an email that's unrelated to coronavirus. So get creative. Now is the time to think outside of the box for sure. Get creative with your email subjects. Get creative with your captions and give people that sigh of relief. Give them that escape from all of the negative news that is going on. So this is a good time again to build that know, love, and trust that I do talk about in Brand You Like a Boss. If you don't have that book, there's a digital copy of that as well. Make sure you check that out. It's on natashaweston.com. Now is the time to build those relationships with people, period. Number 7, spend time with family and friends. Now, I know they want us to do social distancing thing, but if you live with your family, if they're not too far in distance, I highly encourage you guys to have fresh conversations because I don't know about y'all, but when I hang with my friends and my family, I get all sorts of inspiration on content to create, on conversations to have here on the podcast. It's a stressful time. And even though my friends and family stress me out a lot of times, they're also a fresh breath air from reality. So don't be afraid to call them on FaceTime and hop on Skype or drive down the street or go downstairs and spend time just to talk to them. You just be amazed at how much better it will make you feel. Remember, mental health is priority through all of this. And the 8th key to surviving the coronavirus is to use this time to inform. Now, again, you're probably getting a whole lot of emails from companies and brands you're subscribed to. I know Expedia has emailed me a few times. Some of the airlines have emailed me a few times telling me what their plans are moving forward. Their cancellation fees have been waived, certain things like that. So they're telling us, they're informing us of their plans and how they will still continue to serve their customers essentially during this outbreak. You can also use this time to inform your audience of ways that you can still add value to their lives during this time. So this is going to go back to any type of digital platform, any type of content that you have that can motivate and inspire people to move forward. Because the reality is, at the end of the day, people are going to remember you right now for how you made them feel during this breakout, period. So be very intentional with this, you guys. So yeah, those are the 8 keys to surviving the coronavirus. I really, really, really hope that this information has helped you out. Please, please, please go and share this episode with everybody you know because it can benefit everybody. This may seem like a shutdown season, but this season can definitely put you in position to win when all of this blows over. Don't forget to go and download the free course that I'm giving you. Again, the link is bit.ly/COVID-19 content. It will give you the code and all of the instructions on how to access it. I'll be sure to leave the link down below. Don't forget to connect with me on Instagram @officialtoddy. Let me know how you're spending this shutdown season and what ideas you've been getting and how you've been using this time to propel yourself forward so that when it's all over, we are all in a better position to win. Thank you so much, guys, for listening. And until the next episode, I will talk to you soon.